Magandang umaga po at maligayang pagdating sa Pilipinas para sa ating ika-14 na araw ng panlipunang negosyo. Good morning to all of you and welcome to the Philippines for the 14th Social Business Day. I am Erica Tata, Director at Exchange and Deputy to the President at Ashoka Philippines.
And I'm Sadia Hussein, the Chief Operating Officer at YY Ventures.
It is our honor to be with you today and stand before you as your masters of ceremonies, especially during this critical time where we come together to focus on this year's theme, social business, the exit route from the current self-destructive civilization. With everything happening in the world today, our work and message have become even more urgent. In this inspiring two-day event, we hope to guide you through our collective exchange of ideas, knowledge, and ambition.
Feel helpless. Yet, in these moments, I'm reminded of the profound words of Professor Yunus, who once said that when a crisis is at its deepest, it can offer a huge opportunity for us. When things fall apart, we can redesign, recast, and rebuild. And today, we're not just spectators of this chaos. We are architects of change. We have gathered here today to forge a new world, a world that sustains us all, not just some. A world where compassion and justice prevail, where every voice is heard and every life matters. So thank you, Yunus Center and Negro's Women for Tomorrow Foundation for jointly hosting Social Business Day 2024 and creating the space for us to reconnect and rebuild. I also want to thank everyone who has joined us here today. I am told that we have about 400 participants, 100 speakers, representing 26 countries from across the world, who have gathered here in the Philippines to celebrate this great occasion. But I want to also give a special shout out to our Filipino hosts, Negro's Women for Tomorrow Foundation. Yeah, can we just give them a bigger round of applause, please? Thank you very much. Thank you so much for bringing us together and for hosting this wonderful event. The Philippines was one of the first and remains one of the most successful replicators of the Grameen microcredit model. And we really couldn't be celebrating this event at a better location than this.
So the next 2 days build on this history with so many exciting events and sessions. To make sure we all have the best experience possible, we just have a few reminders. First, we place your safety and security as our top priority. All the emergency exits in the venue have been clearly marked, so you can look at your left and your right. All our main sessions will be held in this hall. Venues for breakout sessions in the meeting rooms in the hall outside. Very important, lunch and dinner will be served here as well. Buffet tables will be set up on the right of the stage. Tea and coffee will be served right outside the hall. Restrooms are at the back, towards the right of the stage as well. We ask that everyone keep their phones on silent and to be mindful about time and punctuality. Each speaker has been informed of their allotted time. As a reminder, a bell will ring 1 minute before the end of each session, with 2 bells marking its conclusion. And probably one of the most important reminders, the Wi-Fi network is SBD 2024, and the password is SBD, all caps, 2024, exclamation point. If you need the Wi-Fi password at any time, you can just come to me and ask. So we invite everyone to share this experience with our global community, especially those who could not make it in Manila today. Continue to share your thoughts, ideas, and moments on social media using the hashtag SBD2024 to inspire and involve all those who would like to join our movement. Ladies and gentlemen, we look forward to all discussions the next 2 days. Welcome to Social Business Day 2024.
All right. Now that we have officially started, I hope the energy level is up. I hope we're ready to start the day. And it is my greatest honor to welcome our first speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, we have here with us today a champion of change and resilience, Ms. Lamia Morid, the Executive Director of Yunus Center, to share her welcome remarks. So please put your hands together to welcome Lamia on stage.
Thank you, Sadia. Thank you, Erica. Good morning, everyone. I'm truly delighted to welcome all of you to our 14th Social Business Day on behalf of Yunus Center. We are thrilled to have nearly 100 participants joining us today from 26 different countries across the globe. Here at the SMX Aura Convention Center, Manila, your presence, collective dedication to the transformative power of social business. This year's theme, Social Business, an exit route from the current self-destructive civilization, is both a call to action and a beacon of hope. As we gather here, we must confront a sobering reality. Our current civilization is on a path of self-destruction, fueled by unsustainable practices and profit-driven models that disregard social and environmental well-being and threaten our very existence. We have pushed our planet to its limits. The existing economic systems, in its relentless pursuit of profit, has caused severe and, in many cases, irreversible environmental damage. It's increased global warming and climate change, and is using up the world's natural resources at an unprecedented pace. The latest Oxfam report has revealed that the richest 1% have accumulated nearly 2/3 of all new wealth, further widening the existing huge gap between the rich and the poor. Moreover, global unemployment rates remain troubling. In 2023, the world saw a rate of 5.1%, with countries like Bangladesh and Philippines suffering from alarming rates of youth unemployment. Environmental impacts are all equally alarming, with atmospheric carbon dioxide levels reaching a record high of 427 parts per million this April, an alarming increase of about 20% since 1990. We are at a decisive turning point. We must seek an exit route from this current path. This exit route involves transforming systems and institutions, adopting sustainable practices, ensuring social justice, and promoting ethical governance at every level of society. It is here that the concept of social business becomes vital. Social business offers us a way forward, a model that focuses on solving human problems without seeking dividends for oneself. It's designed to address the root causes of our most pressing global challenges, from environmental sustainability to economic disparity, prioritizing people and communities over business as usual and profits. For past many years, 2006 Nobel Peace Laureate and the founder of the Grameen Bank, Professor Mohammed Yunus, has passionately advocated for the building of the 3-0 vision: zero net carbon emissions, zero wealth concentration to end poverty, and zero unemployment through unleashing entrepreneurship in all. This vision is not merely aspirational, it is achievable through the efforts of social businesses worldwide. Every year, we try to bring together all the actors in the network that are working on creating based on the ideas in inspiration of the work we have done in Bangladesh. NWTF, our host today, was one of the first organizations that replicated Grameen. Founders Cecile, Cora, and Ching became friends of Professor Yunus, myself, and the microcredit movement because of their dedication and commitment to see that NWTF truly caters to the poor and provides them a chance to help improve their lives. From their early success as a replication serving the poorest areas of the province of Negros, NWTF, particularly through Cecile's contribution, helped also spread the social business microcredit approach to other parts of the Philippines through PhilNet, the microfinance network organization. Over the years, NWTF has grown to become a full-fledged microfinance institution that continues to target the poor. Today, it has more than 560,000 active clients, 98% of them women, spread across 285 branches, and serviced by 5,000 staff members. In addition to regular business loans, NWTF has evolved to address other needs of their members, such as housing, water, sanitation, access to electricity, healthcare, education, and full line of business support. When the social business movement started, NWTF again joined us by regularly attending Social Business Day and other events and conference we organized to adopt and promote Professor Yunus's social business concept. They have now become a social business investor that are enabling students, startups, and entrepreneurs to become real problem solvers in the community, and are also pioneering 3-0 clubs in the Philippines. I needed to tell you about NWTF because we are here today at this beautiful event in Manila because of them. Thank you, Cora, Ching, Raymond, Andy, Pressy, and all team for your wonderful hospitality and arrangements. We would also like to remember Cecile, who left us so prematurely in 2018. There are many other examples of microfinance following Grameen that have reached hundreds of thousands of women here in the Philippines, and it's great to see so many of the old friends represented here. In addition, you will hear about Grameen America tomorrow. They have disbursed $4 billion in microloans to more than nearly 200,000 women entrepreneurs in 27 cities across 3 years, while maintaining a repayment rate of 99% and proving the relevance of this model across all types of economic settings. Grameen Trust, which will be presenting, have reached 128 million families through 155 organizations in 44 countries with microcredit, and you'll be hearing from our partners in Nepal, India, Yemen, China, Kosovo, who are also present at the Social Business Day. Beyond microcredit and the work done through Grameen Bank and its replicators, Professor Yunus and his colleagues set up a host of other social businesses in Bangladesh, encompassing healthcare, nutrition, agriculture, education, and virtually every other social problem or issue you can think about. At Social Business Day, we have Grameen Healthcare Services that runs eye care hospitals that have reached 2.7 million patients with treatment. There is Grameen Kollan, which operates 144 community-based healthcare centers that treat over 750,000 patients every year. There's Grameen Shakti that has installed 1.7 million solar home systems, giving more than 7 million people access to electricity. There's Grameen Shikha that has provided vocational training to 12,500 young people and pre-primary education to 200,000 children. There is the Nobeen program, a social business fund operated by 3 companies that provide equity investment to young people and has financed nearly 200,000 entrepreneurs, making them job creators rather than job seekers. There's Grameen Danone and Grameen Uglina, 2 joint ventures that are producing and selling high nutrition foods to address malnutrition in Bangladesh. I just got the information that Grameen Danone has sold more than 19 million cups of fortified yogurt and 8 million packets of non-dairy fortified food in Bangladesh in 2023 alone. All these organizations I mentioned are represented here or will share their experiences virtually from Bangladesh. You will also witness the launch of an exciting new social business and digital healthcare in Bangladesh later today. But the work that has spread worldwide, you will hear the experiences of Yunus Social Business, Yunus Environment Hub, Yunus Thailand, Yunus Sports Hub, Yunus Social Business Foundation, Taiwan, Grameen Creative Lab, Grameen Foundation, and many others as they work to create and invest in social businesses, sometimes replicating the experiences in Bangladesh, but often pioneering and supporting exciting new models that you will hear about. In the sports world, you'll hear about the influence of Professor Yunus's ideas on the Paris Olympics that take place next month, especially in creating innovative and effective social housing and using procurement from social businesses in the Games for the very first time. This conference will also feature the academia, where you will hear about 108 universities that have established Yunus Social Business Centers to disseminate the ideas of microcredit and social business into programs of teaching. There will be the 3-0 Club Convention, which will highlight the experience of the 3-0 Club movement with the creation of 4,000 clubs working with youth who are taking action in their lives and the lives of others to build a 3-0 world. The goal of Social Business Day every year is to bring together our global family of practitioners to exchange ideas, to share knowledge, learning, experiences, and to bring inspiration. Above all, to bring inspiration. Please look at the work.
Yeah. We're only in the welcome remarks section, and we already seem to be hitting our quota of trailblazing women this conference. It's my honor to introduce our Suzette Gaston, one of the pioneers in the Philippine development space. She is one of the 3 brave women who started Negros Women for Tomorrow Foundation 40 years ago. And in that span of time, NWTF has been working with Professor Yunus for more than 35 years. Let's all welcome the Executive Director of NWTF, Suzette Gaston.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Well, last year when we went to Langkawi, our group had the bright idea, why don't we try to invite Professor Yunus for next year on our 40th year? So with a good fortune, we had an affirmative, so that is why we are here today. Thank you, Professor. And Lamia and all the rest of the Green Group. Okay, so let me start with having a little information about Negros Women for Tomorrow Foundation. When Cecile, Cora, and I started Negros Women 40 years ago, the underprivileged members of our community, people to reach a large number of women clients, which really helped our organization. So Professor Yunus also, at that time, he was able to go to Negros for quite a number of times to help us in all these activities. And then we always kept in touch with him. That's why we followed the progression of his thoughts from microfinance to the bigger picture of social business. Fast forward to today, Negros Women for Tomorrow has more than 500,000 women clients in more than 20 provinces across the country with a strong balance sheet. But more importantly, a continuing focus in targeting the poorest and providing services and products that they need to improve their lives and that of their families, and a commitment to sustainability in all aspects, enabling social businesses in these communities. Looking back to our journey, what has made us successful at NWTF is our genuine desire to effect change in our clients, something we learned from Professor Yunus a long time ago. These and a few others are the same 7 principles of social business that are the fundamentals of what we will be discussing throughout this conference. This is ensure that the business objective is to overcome poverty or whatever social issues you want to solve. Ensure that there's a financial and economic sustainability. The income stays with the company for expansion and improvement. No dividends beyond investment money. Fair labor practices, gender-sensitive and environmental conscious practices, and more importantly, doing it with joy. I believe that today, more than ever, these 7 principles are more important, whether it is to be successful in our projects and social businesses, or as we collectively strive to achieve the goal of this conference, to create an exit route to this current self-destructive civilization. So in closing, allow me to thank Professor Yunus, Lamia, the Yunus Center, YY Ventures, and all the organizations of this conference for partnering with NWTF in all, and as we try to create a world of 3 zeros here in the Philippines. Thank you, salamat gid, and mabuhay.
Thank you so much, Suzette for that speech and for inspiring us all. Up next, we have an equally inspiring speaker, Mr. Bhargav Dasgupta, the Vice President of Market Solutions at the Asian Development Bank. With Professor Muhammad Yunus's relentless advocacy over the years, the ADB has since adopted the Grameen microcredit model to deliver some of its objectives. So please put your hands together to welcome Mr. Bhargav Dasgupta on stage.
Professor Mohammed Yunus, Lamia Morid, Suzette Gaston, Susanna Afran, esteemed colleagues representing the social business worldwide, partners from the private and the development sectors, good morning, and welcome to all of you to the 14th Social Business Day 2024. I'm deeply honored that you invited me to this very august gathering and the opening ceremony, and I really want to thank you personally on behalf of ADB and from myself for inviting me here. And I wanted to thank the organizers for this outstanding arrangement here. The theme for this year's Social Business Day is Social Business, an exit route from the current self-destructive civilization. Now, social businesses with a well-defined mission and purpose, this is a timely event for you and for us all to move forward with the vision of building a world of 3 zeros: zero net carbon, zero wealth concentration in ending poverty, and zero unemployment by unleashing entrepreneurship in all. I hope you're all excited to hear from our colleagues and partners during the upcoming country fora, plenary sessions, deep dives, and parallel breakout sessions on day 2. I personally feel very inspired just being around so many change makers, movers, transformation leaders. Before joining ADB, I ran an insurance company, the largest private sector insurance company in India. And while we had a lot of recognitions, awards, kudos that we got from many sources, I think what was really the most abiding memories and the most satisfying things that we did were some of the work that we did in microfinance, microinsurance, the work that we did at our foundation. And a lot of the inspiration that we drew was from the work that Professor Yunus did with Grameen Bank when we started in our business, microinsurance as well as microfinance. So Professor Yunus, having originated Grameen Bank and pioneering the very notion of microfinance in itself, you have transformed and shaped social entrepreneurs and the core philosophy of social business to improve the lives of poor and the disadvantaged. Thank you for everything that you've done, Professor Yunus. Now, let me turn to the current development landscape in Asia and the Pacific. Asia and the Pacific continues to experience unprecedented polycrisis, including geopolitical conflicts, inflation, and climate change. 2023 was the hottest year in the history of mankind. And this crisis brings with it food insecurity, more frequent floods and heat waves, and new emerging public health threats. GDP loss from climate change for developing Asia could potentially reach 24% by 2100. Social inequality also persists, with the income gap between richest and the poorest have narrowed over the past decade to more than 30% of the region's population. With all this destruction and the persisting gap between haves and have-nots, our generation to leave this world a better place than what we found it. And as agents of social change, all of you do a remarkable work in creating impact for that change. Collectively, you build human capital, promote sustainable agriculture, expand access to healthcare and essential services, and more importantly, give the poor and the undeserved a fair and dignified chance to make a living and break from the cycle of poverty. We at ADB recognize the role that social business plays in addressing the many developmental challenges of Asia and the Pacific. We are providing financing and capital to social entrepreneurs such as Grameen Phone in Bangladesh. Through our microfinance program under the private sector operations of ADB, we support private sector lending to small and micro enterprises, mostly in the rural areas. In 2023 itself, we catalyzed $477.1 million in loans, benefiting 1 million borrowers in the region. We've also launched the Women's Finance Exchange initiative in 2021 to assist financial institutions and women-led businesses in the region access training and finance to grow their enterprises, including for green purposes. The initiative has already facilitated in this short time about $1.7 million in financing, and we want to do more. Last year, ADB made a groundbreaking $7 million investment in a joint stock company microfinance organization, Crystal, for a 2-year local currency gender bond. This was the first certified gender bond issuance in the South Caucasus and the Georgian Stock Exchange. All proceeds will support women's micro and small and medium enterprises. In Bangladesh, we piloted a project to develop several micro-insurance products based on risk-related data to reduce the vulnerability of the poor and strengthen microfinance institutions' capacity to deliver products and financial literacy. Further, we are working with microfinance lenders to ensure that they are adequately financed through credit guarantees to enhance and broaden the lending to communities affected by climate change. In Uzbekistan, we provided a policy-based loan to provide cross-sectoral reforms for small and medium enterprises to become drivers of diversified and sustainable economic growth. Now, these are just, we all understand, these are drops in the ocean, but we obviously need to work a lot together to make the change that all of you envision for a new civilization to happen. And ADB is there to support the efforts that all of you provide towards social businesses. In conclusion, social business create tangible development impacts and are uniquely positioned to contribute to poverty reduction. Much more work remains to be done to amplify the impact and increase awareness on its potential. I don't think we talk enough about social business. But through policy support, partnerships, and such events, we can broaden the impact of social businesses across the region. Let us work together to forge a new path towards a sustainable and just future for all. Thank you, and have a wonderful conference.
Thank you so much, Bhargav. Our next amazing speaker, Tawakkol Karman, is a human rights activist, journalist, politician, and fellow Nobel Peace Laureate. She was a signatory to appeal to declare COVID-19 vaccine a global common good now, a call which was championed by Professor Yunus and the Yunus Center.
It's 8 minutes.
Okay. You'll give me a cue, yeah? You'll give me a cue. You will. Okay, awesome. I'll just wait here.
Revolutionized banking by making social responsibility its primary goal. Professor Yunus has set a different direction, prioritizing social responsibility and a decent life for all. And expressing our support for him reflects our shared values and commitment to pioneering initiatives that establish and develop systems of social assistance. These initiatives rebuild public and private institutions on a philosophy that reaffirms humanity and the values of cooperation, integration, and social assistance. In this event, we're here in this event to affirm these values and support the early innovators who use them as a guide for their public actions. Professor Mohammed Yunus presents a model of public work that reaches people with social assistance as its core objective. Today, as you know, our world is driven by selfish values, centered on commercial competition and the pursuit of enormous profits and wealth without regard for the social impact of economic policies and global trade. Hundreds of millions of people are marginalized by local and global laws that neglect social responsibility, exacerbating poverty, hunger, and income disparity. How can we witness such vast disparities without sounding the alarm to warn against the injustice and oppression that push increasing numbers of people on the depths of poverty, hunger, and deprivation of work and life opportunities? It is time to sound the alarm. Material progress which embodies selfishness, profit, and the lack of concern for injustice and decent life for all is today the source of our contemporary crisis and leads our world toward destruction. Humans were not born into this world to sacrifice their humanity in the pursuit of wealth. What is claimed to be What is claimed to be development today contradicts the social disparity we see in the wealthy few and the poor majority, who find themselves in the minority in this society. Is our world the most advanced? Unfortunately, no. We must acknowledge that it is the most driven, the importance of social responsibility, I must also extend my sympathy. We must also extend our sympathy and commitment to Palestinian people in Gaza who are currently facing a war characterized by genocide and unprecedented ethnic cleansing, atrocities, and since World War II. I condemn this unjust war and join all free people around the world in calling for its immediate ceasefire, its immediate cessation. Please accept my heartfelt greeting and wishes for the success of this conference. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've been eagerly waiting for has arrived, the keynote speech. Our distinguished keynote speaker for this opening ceremony is renowned as the pioneer of social business and microcredit. He's the esteemed founder of Grameen Bank, the chairman of Yunus Center, who has established over 50 companies in Bangladesh. And for his unwavering, innovative, and entrepreneurial spirit, he has been recognized by the Fortune magazine as one of the greatest entrepreneurs of our time.
In 2006, he was jointly awarded the Nobel Peace Prize with Grameen Bank. He has received an astounding 136 awards from 33 countries, including prestigious state honors from 10 nations. He holds a unique distinction, being one of only 7 individuals to have received the Nobel Peace Prize, the United States Presidential Medal of Freedom, and the United States Congressional Gold Medal. Professor Yunus was also the second recipient of the Olympic Laurel awarded by the OIC. He had also received the Ramon Magsaysay Award, an award often called the Nobel Prize of Asia 4 decades ago in 1984. Please join us in extending a warm welcome to Nobel Peace Laureate Professor Muhammad Yunus.
Hello. Makandan Omega. Good morning to all of you. You see, I'm not making a speech, so I can stand anywhere. It's always, we celebrate this occasion as a family gathering. So all the family members of our network globally are here, representatives are here. So that's the biggest celebration that we can have annually, to get together and look at each other, hug each other, and get inspired again. We say that we are recharging our batteries when we come here in a gathering like this. This is the 14th edition of a Social Business Day. So we have been doing it every year. And first, I want to thank Project Dunganon and Negros Women for Tomorrow for hosting us. Thank you very much. And also want to remember Cecile, our good friend, who took the initiative along with you, Corey, and you, to create this whole organization devoted to microfinance in Negros. And let's give a big applause for her, who is not here, but in spirit, she is with us. It's a long journey for us coming to Philippines. That's what you expect. But actually, it was not a long journey to get here. It was the quickest route that we came here from Bangladesh. We started our work back in Bangladesh in 1976, in a small village. That's where it began. And we came to Philippines by early 80, 81, 82. That's the time we came. People are saying, well, this kind of thing can happen only in Bangladesh. It will never happen anywhere else. So we don't have an explanation whether it could be done elsewhere. The first country which came forward to replicate Grameen in exactly 100% way was Malaysia. Amana Ikhtiar Malaysia in Penang. That was the first one. Thank you, Malaysia. Thank you. And that was the beginning of microcredit Grameen coming outside of Bangladesh. So we are very happy that it's done. Then it's quickly transferred to Indonesia. Karya Usaha Mandiri. They took the initiative and they started it in Indonesia. And then next one was Philippines. And that's how it all began here. At that time, we were not very familiar with Philippines, but we were welcome everywhere we went. Only experience that I had with Philippines as a Boy Scout. I came to Philippines in 1959, as a teenager, as a Boy Scout, at the Boy Scout Jamboree, 10th World Jamboree that helped in Philippines, in Las Vegas. So that's my first entry. That's how I got to know. And then came the Negros. And no, the first one was Ahon Sahirap. Ahon Sahirap was the first initiative that taken in Philippines. Then, of course, CARD and others, like Negros women, they all came after one. And it's a network. In other replication was single one. Amana Ikhtiar Malaysia was a single. Karya Usaha Mandiri, again a single. But Philippines, multiple. And came successively. All happened one after another. By 1983, we became a formal bank. With a big celebration, we became a bank in Bangladesh. But what happens in 1984? We got the Magsaysay Award from Philippines. So that was another big celebration in connection with the Philippines. See, Philippines has been very close to us. We became a bank, and we got the best prize Asia could give was Magsaysay Prize. And thank you, Magsaysay, for doing that. And we'll have the chairman of Magsaysay Foundation here today during our session, and she'll speak. So this is a very, very close relationship that we built with the Philippines that we continued. But it's spread around the countries and so on. But we continued to move step by step. And thank you for mentioning the 7 principles of business. So these are the focus area that what we wanted to do, one by one, step by step, that we continue to do that. And we move on to many different fronts. And today and tomorrow, we'll be discussing all the different things that we have created in many different areas of our work, particularly our work related to healthcare. That became a very important thing for us right from the beginning, as we're doing microcredit, still in a few villages. But we are focusing on healthcare and developing program for healthcare. We have come a long way since then. Healthcare never left our eyes. Our attention always on healthcare. Because, say, if you are poor in health. It goes together. So we have to move together into solving these problems. And in this particular occasion of family gathering, we'll be launching a new company. Here, right here. It will be launched globally, but we'll be doing it from here. And it's called Grameen Digital Health. Grameen Digital Health is a digital healthcare. We have series of healthcare centers. Lamia mentioned our work in healthcare. We have eye care hospitals, network of eye care hospitals in Bangladesh. And we have primary cares. Many things we have done and continue to do. But this is taking one step, bringing healthcare on telephone with the app. So you just get to the app and get to the doctor and whatever services you need. This will be the essence of this company that we are launching here. And the name is Shukhi. Shukhi is a Bangla word, happy. So we'll be launching that happy company here to make everybody happy in this healthcare system and bringing healthcare to the poorest people. And we'll be having a session on that launching ceremony. So this is another aspect that we wanted to introduce to you and see it's not only for Bangladesh. Since this is a digital, it could be expanded. Like microcredit started in the village, 1 or 2 or 3 villages, but became global. We are hoping that we can develop something with the spirit that we have in mind, not the first round, first edition may not be the perfect one, but it's the first step. First step is a very important one because you develop the concept of it. Then we refine it and make it sure that it's not only limited to Bangladesh, it could be done by anybody, anywhere in the world. Just tag on to each other. Because once you create the digital thing, one amazing thing is you tag on to each other. You can continue to do that. So this is one that it will be historical again, hopefully, that we have launched it from Philippines. And we'll be looking, we have lots of hopes behind it, and the session will explain what we have been doing in that. The other one that we want to bring up, sorry that the person who was supposed to explain everything, is our sports, our relationship with the sports. We got connected with the sports world, Lamia has mentioned that, and it's now expanding. We were invited to be the I was invited as the torchbearer of Olympic in 2016 in Rio, in the Rio Olympic. So I was kind of feeling funny that I was not a sports person, but here I am becoming the torchbearer of the Olympic. So I enjoyed it. But that occasion also was the occasion for me. I was invited to talk to the board of International Olympic Committee. The board was meeting during the Olympic, so I was to address them. I was invited to address them because I was raising this issue again and again, everywhere, that the sports is a big power, but used only for a small part for commercial purposes. It's the real strength, the real power of sports was never touched, was never unfolded, and there's the social power. So I keep repeating this, engaging people to pay attention to it, and finally invited to Lausanne in Switzerland, the head office of the headquarters of the International Olympic Committee, to address the members of the Olympic Committee and the staff. So I did that, and that led to their interest in the subject and invited to Rio Olympic. So that the sports world now became interested one after another. But I never realized that that will be transformed in a big global way through one particular event. There's the Paris Olympic, which is coming up. The decision about the Paris Olympic was taken back in 2018. 16 was the Rio Olympic. Discussion went on. Then I was invited to Paris to explain to them how sports can be relevant to social business and social power of sports. So that led to the discussion there. There's lots of top sports people in France raised lots of questions, answered all the questions to make them feel what I feel about it. And they got very excited about it. They said, can Olympic be a social business? I said, why not? Anything can be a social business. It's all about what you want to do, the purpose. The vision is the important thing. In all our work, we always say, once you have a clear vision what you want, the rest is very simple. All you have to do, keep trying to get to the vision. But if you don't have the vision, you carry on everyday work, you're nowhere. You have no place, no directions, what you want. So I said, you decide what you want, just in imagination. So we emphasize imagination as a top priority, that this is imagination. Sometimes people say, oh, you are imagining things. This is not practical. Practical thing comes later, once you have a vision. So we had talked about the Social Business Olympic and designed it in our imagination. They accepted it. They went behind it. Now this Olympic is coming 2024. This was 2018 we are talking. At that time, 2024 was far, far away. It looked like something may happen, may not happen. But we continued to work together and made that happen. And now they adopted it and implementing it. Whole world will be introduced to that next month in July. So we'll be watching televisions everywhere and ask questions, what is the Social Business Olympic here? What is it that they're running, they're doing all the things, athletes are performing, where is the social business? So you raise this question in your mind, try to see where you read the social business into that. It's a fascinating idea that way. And that idea is spreading. This is a new frontier, that's why I'm explaining a little bit more. And the person who is our representative based in Paris, he heads our organization called Yunus, France. He was coming on the way to attend this and explain what is going on in the Olympic. Unfortunately, he came all the way to Bangkok, and he lost his passport. Poor guy, got a lot of trouble. Finally, he had to go back because the French embassy could allow him to go back to France and not to proceed further. So he's going back. So we invited him to send a video to explain what this is, who's been doing that. But his heart is completely broken. He thought it's the first time he's coming to Philippines. It will be an exciting experience to meet the family members and explaining what is going on in France. It's not only going on in France, it's now spreading in other countries. We have social business, Milan Cortina Winter Olympic. So this is another edition. Coming from Paris Olympic, all the discussion took place in emphasizing this. There's such an unexplored area in many, many directions, which we never paid attention to. So suddenly comes up as a very powerful force in transforming the world, making big changes in the thinking process. So we pay attention to, always we do, with academia. And Lamia just mentioned about the 108 social business centers, Yunus social business centers in 39 countries. And one of them will be here launched in the new YSBC during our session. It's at Chulalongkorn University in Thailand. They will be the 2009 YSBC doing that. So this is another aspect. So education is to be brought in. A real mindset is done at academia. When I blame the world for creating a wrong civilization, and I keep titling it by saying it is a self-destructive civilization. The seed of self-destruction is inside that civilization. So there's no escape route. We have to follow the line and go to that. So how to get away? I said one simple thing, go back, who designed this civilization? Because those people who designed it have to undo that thing and create a beginning of a new civilization. And immediately you come to academia. Professors, we respect them a lot. But they are the one who created this terrible civilization, giving us wrong ideas, wrong concepts, and make it go in the self-destructive process. If you think it is a kind of highway that we are proceeding, and we are very happy, the speed is getting faster and faster in this highway, but that highway takes us to the destruction. So we are looking for an exit route. You saw the title of the thing, the exit route, which will take us off from that highway, take us to the new civilization. So we are building that new civilization by our work, not by our speeches, not by our theories, by our work, demonstration that it can be done. It's not something which was told in the old civilization, it cannot be done, don't touch it. They said, you cannot run business without making money. I said, of course you can. It's all what we want to do. It's about us, not about some theory. We want to change the world, we change it. We create the world the way we want it. We say, particularly to the young people, we tell the young people, look, the world is a spaceship, big spaceship floating in this space. We are in that spaceship. But the civilization that we are going through makes us believe we are the passengers on this spaceship. So we are trying to be comfortable in this spaceship. Everybody is trying to make a little bit of space so that you are comfortable. Everybody is busy. If you're in economy class, you want to do the business class. If you're in the business class, you want to the first class, etc., etc. So everybody is busy. That's what this civilization has been told. I said, that's a wrong idea. We are not passengers on the ship. We are the pilots of this ship. We take this ship wherever we want. So prepare yourself as pilots. That's where universities are needed. Build the pilots. Find out what is the world they want to create. Did you ever hear in any university when you enter any academic institution? First question is, what kind of world you would like to build? Because you are the architect of this world. So start doing that. And exchange ideas with each other, among your friends. Because together, if you believe in something, you'll make it. So that's where the beginning process. We are the pilots. We have to go back. That's why we go back to the university campuses. This is where the wrong world was created, wrong civilization was created. Now it's up to them to build the new civilization by bringing the new ideas among the young people to build a new world that they want. Because otherwise, they'll be going to the same highway and feeling happy because their speed is becoming faster and faster and faster. Oh, it's a fantastic highway. But you are going faster and faster to your extinction, not anywhere else. So how to find that exit route? Where is this exit route will be going to? That's we design. So this is the kind of scenario that we have been following, and very happy that we see responses from the young people. So we tell the young people the new civilization is about the civilization to create a world of 3 zeros. And we know exactly what steps to be taken. And you can think about better way. With just a preliminary way, this is the way you can do that. Transform everything. And one way to transform is simple formula. Whatever you see is going wrong, do the opposite. You want to make money, be rich? You create a business not to make money, to change the world. You change the whole objective of your business. Suddenly you see that, yes, I can do that. And that's where you're involved in microcredit, you're involved in social business and so on. And that's where we bring the whole idea that you're not a job seeker, as the old civilization tell you, that oh, you send your children to school, college, so that they can get the best job in the best company and feel so comfortable waiting for the retirement day and retire with a big retirement benefit. I said, that's not a human life. Human life is about changing the world, not carrying out somebody else's instruction. You're packed with unlimited creative capacity to do that. So how to bring that message to the young people? So we go to the young people to ask them to create 3-0 clubs. And that's one issue that you'll be discussing in this conference a lot, how to create that 3-0 club. And there'll be 3-0 convention here. So all the 3-0 young people who committed themselves to transform themselves as a 3-0 person. If you can convert yourself into a 3-0 person in one club of 5 members, I said, that's proof enough that we can create a world of 3 zeros. After all, world is about us. It's not something else. If I change, world changes. So how to make that happen? So we'll have the representatives of the 3-0 clubs coming here, discussing physically, digitally, and many other ways so that we can share their experience. There are 4,000 3-0 clubs in last 2.5 years. So that's very surprising for us. We didn't expect that so many 3-0 clubs will be coming up. There are 3-0 clubs in Philippines too. We didn't know that. We monitor them to see where it's happening. Our only purpose is to connect them with each other, not us. We don't know anything. We tell Don't believe the people who are beyond your age. They are gone. Don't take any advice from them. That's useless advice. You create your own lot. Because they will give you the wrong advice. Don't go to them. Because they are responsible for creating this civilization. Those who are participants in the old civilization, it's very difficult to change them into creating a new civilization because their mind is made completely. So you have to free yourself from that older generation and older thinking process. You reverse that process to go to the right thing. So we'll be hearing, discussing, and see what will be done. And as I was mentioning, Paris Olympic, I'm very happy. This, I'm sure Susan is here, the IOC representative. You know? Oh, okay. So she will be here and to represent International Olympic Committee, speak on behalf of the International Olympic to our delegates here. So this is a family gathering to share experiences and see where we are, what direction we are taking, and share all the exciting experiences that we have gone through. And I mentioned about one delegate got stuck in Bangkok and going back, sorry. So we can now introduce ourselves who are finally succeeded without losing their passports to get here many hours. The longest travel that the one delegate has made is from Brazil. Tolio. Are you there, Tolio? Can you stand up so that we give you applause? Where? Sorry, my light doesn't help me. Oh, I can see that in this corner, yeah. Tolio coming from Brazil. So 23 hours of flight or distance that they had to cover, 23 hours. So it's a thank you very much for joining us and tell everybody in Brazil that you are here as a representative of the family and all the exciting things that you are doing in Brazil, particularly with Amazonia. When you talk about Brazil, immediately remember Amazonia. This is where our lung is located, planet's lung, which cleans up the air for us, environment for us. So it's a very important country, and we want to work together, and we're doing that, and he will explain to that. So I'll kind of invite and welcome all the delegates coming from different countries. First of all, we'll mention Philippines. Can you all the Philippine delegates stand up and give a big applause for everybody? And Suzette, the delegation leader. So we applaud you. Fantastic to hosting us. Thank you very much. There are 190 delegates from Philippines. Thank you very much for coming and hosting us together. So we are very happy to be back here. And for many of us, we did before, but many never came to Philippines before, first time. So we'll have a good time in Philippines. And the next one is Bangladesh, 48 delegates. Yes, give big applause for Bangladesh delegate. And Professor Hannan Chaudhry is the leader of the delegation. He is here. We introduce him. Please raise your hand so that people can see. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. And then Thailand, 35 delegations. 35. Thailand. Yeah. Is Professor Faiz here? I didn't see him this morning. Has you made it? Oh, we see others. Yes, thank you very much. Welcome to this here, the family gathering. Nepal. Nepal is always a big delegation, always. Fantastic. 29 delegation members. We welcome you to join us. It's every other year. We get to see each other every year, so this is one occasion that we have. Thank you very much for continuing with that. And Nepal not only bring the big delegation to reach out to other delegates and the family members convention here, also is the leader in creating 30 clubs. Almost one third or almost one half of all the 30 clubs are done globally. Half of them is in Nepal. It's amazing speed in which they have gone. We have a very big applause for them. So the response they get, enthusiasm they show on the 30 club, young people. It's all about young people. Some of them as close to, as I said, 12 years. Some are even saying that I'm 11 years, but I want to join. Can I do that? I said, okay, you can join. We could call yourself member in waiting because you're so enthusiastic that you want to join. And you'll be with the club, but you'll be the 6th member until you become 12. You cannot become the full member. So all clubs are 5 members. So then you have to find 4 other friends to create your own club because you're now with your age. So enthusiasm level is very high. So if you when you see the 3-0 Club convention, you'll feel that excitement among the young people to create the 3-0 world. Malaysia, 29. Oh, sorry, just one thing. Nepal, the leader of the Nepal delegation, our dearest friend, Shankar Mansesto, always present in every single social business day we ever held. Never missed it, never. Thank you, Shankar. Wonderful. And then we go to Malaysia. Malaysia, 20 delegates. Thank you, Malaysia. I was just mentioning about being the 2nd country after Bangladesh, the 1st country to create microcredit. So this is a big step for Malaysia to create that Aman Akhtar Malaysia and take a lead in replicating Grameen Bank, because people are saying it can happen only in Bangladesh, it cannot be done anywhere else. So they showed no, it can be done in another country too. So that was a tradition, history of Malaysia. And then here they have created another history. They created a whole university, Al-Bukhari International University in Kedah. The whole university is as a social business university. And they teach social business in every subject. So it's not just limited to one particular department of social business. They teach social business in every single subject. And the whole faculty is devoted to it. So it's a very unique university. Leader of the delegation is Professor Tajuddin. Professor Tajuddin is here. Nini, both of them. Professor Tajuddin is the Vice Chancellor of Al-Bukhari University. So he's here. Thank you. Welcome. So it's wonderful to share your experiences. And through Al-Bukhari University, social business and microcredit ideas are spread around the world. Because it's a unique university, you cannot pay for your, if you qualify to pay for your tuition, then you are disqualified. You have to show that you have no way you can find the money to pay. Only then they will give you admission. And not only give you admission, they'll pay you to come and study until you finish your degree. So this is, and financial headache is off. So they are looking for students in the poor families and go to countries after countries to find out those young people who cannot afford to pay. And there's a lot of students from Asia and many more students from Africa. So we go there, it's an international university. You'd hardly see any local student there. So Professor Tajuddin will explain how he does it, but it's a unique university. We have a lot to learn about it, and it's going on, and it's still very strong and getting bigger, and it's spreading the message of social business, message of 3.0 world to many, many countries. So wherever we go, in those countries where students came, they became leader in organizing social businesses, in organizing 3.0 clubs, and so on. So you'll hear that story later on. And thank you, Tajuddin, and thank you, Nini, if you're already here. Sorry, I can't see because of the lighting. Very, very committed to expanding social business. Yeah, here you are. I can see you here. Okay, Nini, thank you. And then Taiwan, Juno. Fantastic. Yeah, always. From Taiwan. Thank you, Juno, and all the people that you've brought with you, the delegates. And Taiwan is very active in all fronts, in microcredit and social business, now in the YSBC. How many YSBCs here? More than a dozen, right? 17, yeah, 17. 17 universities in Taiwan have a separate social business center, Yunus Social Business Center. They hold all kinds of programs. One of them is a kind of a retreat, taking young people for a retreat, discussing social business and so on, come up with ideas. So it's all year round, they're very active, very energetic. And Yunus is the one who leads this whole movement in Taiwan. Thank you, Yunus. Thank you. Mexico. Do we see Mexico? Sorry again. Yep. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, right here. Okay. Mexico. And we are very happy to invite you here, receive you here. So it's a global thing. It's not easy for people to come from Latin America to all the way to Philippines. It's a long journey, so we missed a lot of our friends coming from Latin American countries and African countries to get here. But those who have come here and brought your passport with you, didn't lose it on the way, and keep your passport very safe so that on the way back you can get home. We welcome you, all of you, to be part of this family gathering. It's kind of occasion for hugging and shaking hands and sharing experiences and make up your mind to do what next. What is the next step that you'll be doing? But fantastic thing that you have done, and the global mindset is changing because of your work. And that's how when we go and talk about Olympic, people don't say, this is a crazy, crazy thing. They pay a lot of attention. Even in case they didn't agree, they were not disrespectful. They are listening. But in the case of Olympic, immediately it clicked. It's not just one person. Whole country, whole nation has to make up that mind that, yes, our Olympic will be a social business Olympic. When they presented this idea to get an approval from the International Olympic Committee, because there are other contenders. You know, in Olympic, many countries compete to host the Olympic. So there are other countries, like Los Angeles was a candidate, when Paris is a candidate. So you have to compete with other countries. And you make a presentation to the Olympic Committee. And the Olympic Committee that went from France make this presentation was headed by President Macron. He just got elected at that time. And he was the leader. And the mayor, Anne Hidalgo of Paris, she was a member. And they put me as another member of the committee. So 3 of us went to Lausanne, make our presentation. And finally, after all the process is done, a few days later, we are told that Paris has been accepted as the venue for the next Olympic 2024. That was a big news for the entire France. Why? Because Olympic is coming back to France after more than 100 years. They thought they will never be able to get Olympic done again. But this time, they succeeded. They have Olympic happening in France after 100 years. So this was a nationwide celebration. So when this Olympic takes place in France, it will be a big national celebration to make sure that they are the focus of the entire world. Almost 3/4 of the world population, 8 billion people, 3/4 of the world population are on television set, eyes set on that particular opening day, particular day. At the same time, watching the same thing in the whole world, entire population is focused on that. It's a big, big event. And that is what the impact that you make when you challenge the existing way of doing and suggest something dramatically different and get it through. So that's excitement that we're looking for. So we'll be discussing a lot of those issues in our work, and we can learn from each other and get ready for the next one. Welcome. Salamat po. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so very much, Professor Muhammad Yunus, for that powerful speech. Not only today, but you've inspired us all throughout the years. What I've learned from you is that imagination is truly my superpower, and I hope you also take that away with you. Professor Muhammad Yunus, he is, to me, living proof that an idea can truly change the world. So I really want us to take a moment to show our deep gratitude and respect for all the work that he has done for us so far to make this world a better place. So if we can give him a big round of applause, that would be so cool. Thank you. Our next speaker is the visionary president of the Ramon Magsaysay Award Foundation, Ms. Susanna B. Afan, leading the foundation that is dedicated to celebrating and empowering courageous changemakers in Asia. Please join me in welcoming Susanna on stage.
Hello and good morning, everyone. I am very, very pleased to be here this morning, and I'm going to give, I guess, a little bit of history to many of you that probably do not know much about the Ramon Magsaysay Award Foundation. We are very happy to let you know that we actually discovered the work and life's passion of our distinguished Mohammed Yunus 40 years ago. And this was back at a time that was very difficult for Bangladesh. On March 26, 1971, the People's Republic of Bangladesh was established. This new country brought on fresh hope to millions of Bangladeshi citizens recovering from the trauma of its history of separation in South Asia. But this liberation came with serious challenges, including the rehabilitation of millions of people displaced. Plainly stated, Bangladesh was facing grave economic instability and abject poverty. This was the Mohammed Yunus reality then. How was he to help uplift the lives of millions of his countrymen? This was a Herculean task that would require innovative thinking, unlimited dedication, courage, and a lot of hard work. As a young economics professor at Chittagong University, Professor Yunus took bold steps to address this issue. In 1976, Yunus began a research pilot in Jobra village, one of the poorest households near his university, with an unthinkable, at that time, yet notable idea, which was to provide microloans to the landless and the disadvantaged. This initiative marked the genesis of what we now know as Grameen Bank. For over 100,000 villagers who formerly were submerged in poverty, but have utilized microloans from the Grameen Bank, Yunus's impact have been completely life-changing, to say the least. With the money that they loaned, the villagers built small mustard seed oil mills. They bought cows and goats for milk production. They started weaving saris for livelihood projects. They made fish nets. They engaged in pottery works and betel nut production, and even purchased fertilizers for rice cultivation and expanded the inventory of their small shops. I'm sure that today this is still happening in many of the microfinance villages that is being inspired by the work of Mohammed Yunus. The innovative approach and transformative leadership demonstrated by the professor did not go unnoticed 40 years ago. This was in 1984, and he was then 44 years old. Mohammed Yunus was elected to receive the Ramon Magsaysay Award for Community Leadership for his pioneering efforts in enabling rural men and women to become economically self-sufficient through sound group-managed credit. His work challenged misconceptions about the capabilities of the poor to save, collaborate, and effectively utilize loans. For those of you coming from the many other countries, Ramon Magsaysay was the 7th president of the Philippines. And we are an internationally based organization, originally funded and founded by the Rockefeller Brothers of New York Fund, but we are here based in the Philippines. But since its conception, the Grameen Bank has achieved, obviously, remarkable success. Grameen Bank has grown to provide collateral-free loans to 7.5 million clients, 97% of whom are women, in more than 82,000 villages in Bangladesh. Yunus's model has demonstrated that even the poorest individuals can enhance their lives with dignity and contribute to their country's economic growth. Today, we all know that Mohammed Yunus is globally recognized as the father of microfinance. In the Philippines, the Center for Agriculture and Rural Development Mutually Reinforcing Institutions, also known as CARD-MRI, was established in 1986. To date, CARD-MRI has empowered millions of Filipinos, 9 million of which had accessed microloans. 30 million are now insured through microinsurance, and 5 million individuals have accessed health programs. We are honored, if I am not mistaken, Dr. Aris Alip, the founder of CARD-MRI, is in the audience with us today. In 1994, in Indonesia, we have, I know, a delegation from Indonesia. Dompet Duafa, a humanitarian institution, empowered millions of Indonesians through the principle and power of zakat, a religious offering that is one of the pillars of Islam. Dompet Duafa's microloans have benefited 24 million people, more than the entire population of Sri Lanka. In Pakistan, Mohammed Amjad Saqib, who has become a good friend, I know we also have a delegation here from Pakistan, founded Akuwat in 2001. His pioneering interest-free microfinance model is also based on the Islamic values on compassion known as Mawaqat. Akuwat has since grown into the world's largest interest-free microfinance organization. And to date, it has disbursed over $789 million in loans and has lifted the lives of over 5.4 million people in Pakistan. These, ladies and gentlemen, are the movements inspired directly by the work of Professor Mohammed Yunus. And as such, they too followed his footsteps in obtaining the Magsaysay Prize. In 2008, CARD-MRI received the Ramon Magsaysay Award. In 2016, Dompet Duafa followed suit. And in 2021, Mohammed Amjad Saqib also became a Magsaysay laureate. To date, these and countless other microfinance institutions globally, including our hosts today, the NWTF organization, have followed Mohammed Yunus's model. This is the collective impact that Professor Yunus started that merited the Ramon Magsaysay Award. He has transformed the lives not only of millions of Bangladeshis, but now exponentially billions of people around the world. This is what the Ramon Magsaysay Award stands for, celebrating transformative, courageous leadership, selfless service, and the greatness of spirit of once ordinary, because as we all know, he's no longer ordinary, once ordinary individuals and organizations that bring meaningful and lasting change. To date, 348 women and men and organizations working around Asia have been conferred with what is now widely regarded as Asia's premier prize and highest honor. And I'm so happy to let you know that many of you that are represented today, whether it's Taiwan, Nepal, Indonesia, Thailand, we have Ramon Magsaysay awardees that we are so proud of that come from your countries. We are actually celebrating our 65th anniversary, and we have a commemorative book series simply called Greatness of Spirit, Stories of Love, Courage, and Service. It is a 7-volume, 15-kilo, book set that has put together these great stories that we have found quite inspirational all over Asia that we need so badly in our world today. So today I am here because 40 years ago, when Mohammed Yunus, our now very beloved Mohammed Yunus, received the Ramon Magsaysay Prize, which, if I may say, may have been your lucky charm, Professor Yunus, because now you have over 130 awards. We were the precursor to many of those international accolades, I might say, including the 2006 Nobel Peace Prize. We want you to know that we continue to celebrate the undeniable, exponential impact of your work and the billions of lives changed through the power of your idea of microfinance. So as a token of our appreciation for your work and to commemorate the 40th anniversary of your receiving the Ramon Magsaysay Award, the Foundation and its Board of Trustees would like to present to you today not only your 1984 Ramon Magsaysay Award for Community Leadership, again, to remind you of it, but actually a portrait that was specifically commissioned for our 65th anniversary commemorative book series. And this will also serve as our advanced happy birthday gift to you tomorrow, June 28th, for your 84th birthday. So this is it. This is his portrait, and this is the book that we're talking about. If you'd like to see it, please come. I'm inviting all of you, including our international guests, to come to the Ramon Magsaysay Center on Rojas Boulevard. We will offer you a cup of coffee, internet, and an experience to be able to check out the books and see who the other awardees are from your countries as well. So Mohammed Yunus, if I may please ask you to please come on stage to receive your portrait.
Thank you so much, Susan, for that amazing gift and wonderful words. So I think no family gathering is complete without coffee and tea. So before you go to the Ramon Magsaysay Center for your next cup of coffee, we invite everyone to grab a cup and network, say hi to a friend. There is, I think, three about the new civilization and how we can find all these pilots. Second is how we're changing the world. Third is how we can bring this message to a lot more of young people. An option for the fourth is if you've ever lost your passport, maybe. Please, coffee and tea will be available outside. We ask everyone to be back by 11:15 so we can start the next session. Thank you, enjoy.